Thanks, John. Joining us right now is Democratic Congressman from Illinois, Mike Quigley. Talk much more about this and more. Let's start there. Tulsi Gabbard going to meet with Mark Warner today. What is your sense of the direction, do you think, of her nomination? I mean, as Zach says, she basically needs Republicans. But do you think Mark Warner's opinion coming out of this meeting could change things?
I'd like to think it would. This is a nomination of great concern, widely inexperienced and a critical role. Let's remember why we formed ODNI in the first place. It was post 9/11. It was to coordinate the intelligence community, to force them to share information to avoid another 9/11. Couple that with the fact that her meeting with Assad isn't just an isolated incident. The fact that she came back from that secret meeting saying he's not an enemy of the United States, it concerns me that our allies wouldn't share critical information that keeps us safe because they simply wouldn't trust her.
It'll be interesting if we hear from Mark Warner coming out of that meeting for sure. Also, in the House, the focus now turns, especially for Republicans, pushing for one big bill to kind of come out of the gate with of all of Donald Trump's priorities as he comes into office. The discussion was really pushing for that. That was Sunday, Monday. And now come Tuesday, you're hearing it. I don't know if it's people are saying pump the brakes or just reality is setting in. Even Republicans seeming to think this might not be the way to go about it. Let me play what Lindsey Graham said.
Is it a risk to put it all in one big bill?
I think it's a risk to our country to delay border security. So if you're a tax-cutting person, which I understand, and you're holding the border bill hostage, I think that's a dangerous thing.
Are you more or less likely to sign on to a massive bill that includes possibly maybe something for everyone, border security, energy, tax cuts, debt ceiling suspension?
Well, obviously we haven't seen any text yet, but let me go back. The fact of the matter is that the margins are close, and I'd like to think they need Democratic support. The way to get people to agree to something is to communicate ahead of time and try to meet in the middle. It's hard to expect people to compromise if you take extreme positions at the beginning. So if they want to work with Democrats, we're there to do just that. But let's talk about what we're trying to address. And the fact of the matter is, I've been here 16 years. The bigger the bill, the more issues that are involved, the more likely you are to draw opposition to it. You know, look, you've got a 2-year term here in the majority. Let's work at these issues one at a time, try to get it right.
Nick Robertson's reporting that we played just a short time ago about foreign leaders now speaking out against Elon Musk. I mean, Elon Musk has used his platform to say a lot of things long before he was in Donald Trump's orbit, opining on lots of things. And now it seems world leaders seem to take him very, very seriously, from the Prime Minister, the British Prime Minister, even French President Emmanuel Macron speaking out yesterday, seemingly baffled and accusing Elon Musk of meddling in European elections. Do you think Elon Musk has that much power?
Well, I think the fact that people think he does means he probably does. Look what happened in the United States when we tried to pass a bill before the holiday break. That was a compromise, bipartisan, bicameral bill that virtually everyone agreed on. It was going to become law, and Elon Musk enters the fray and defeats it. And then we pass something just to move along, just to kick the can down the street. It accomplished absolutely nothing, but it showed early on that he does have this. And the joke was calling him President Musk. I think the actual term that should be played is oligarch. This is an extraordinarily wealthy person who has disproportionate political power, having not been elected to absolutely anything.
Elon Musk also connected with another breaking news story that's come out today. Meta has announced this morning that it's making major changes to its content moderation on Facebook and Instagram. Mark Zuckerberg is saying they're getting rid of fact checkers, replacing them with user-generated community notes, which is similar to what we know Elon Musk has done with X. The way Mark Zuckerberg puts it in his announcement was that he says the fact checkers were too politically biased, and he's now attempting to restore free expression. The New York Times is reporting, Congressman, the Trump administration got a heads up about this move. What do you think of this?
Look, it's the lack of profiles and courage. Would Zuckerberg do this if Trump had lost the election? Is this just an attempt, blatantly trying to appease the president going in so he's not attacked? Let's just remember in 2017, the entire intelligence community said that the Russians attacked through social media our democratic process, and they did it to help the Trump campaign. So social media is an extraordinary weapon against our democracy. There is a balance to protect our First Amendment rights. But when you take away the guardrails and you see the far right connections here, it's a great concern.
So what can you do about, I'll say, the Elon Muskization of the federal government, if that's the direction it's going? Not elected, not going into the government. What direction is this heading?
Look, what we can do as Democrats is draw attention to what he's done and the fact that obviously he wasn't elected and how this impacts him. When we took out in that first bill, the disaster relief, all we could do was communicate with the American people, though, how much it would cost each state in disaster relief. That had to get put back in the next bill, and it did. But that's all we can do is communicate directly with the American people and our colleagues and hope that they understand Mr. Musk, while wealthy, is not particularly intelligent about a lot of items. If you're so rich, why aren't you smart? And he's not connected to the American people, and he has a disconnect that isn't really concerned with their needs. So I think that's the limits of what we can do where we vote in Congress.
Congressman Mike Quigley, thank you for coming in.